Hello teacher and friends. Welcome to Intel Teach Program Essentials course. My name is Uyen from class K39, Interpretation and Translation. And today, I'm going to introduce to you my teaching plan in this video. The course book that my Unit A mainly based on is FCE Masterclass, Workable with K. Unit 2, Composition. First, we're going to have a look at my unit portfolio and then get an insight into my unit plan, which is the most important part in the teaching plan. Finally, I'm going to go back to cover some information that is provided in the set of folders in the unit portfolio. Here is the unit portfolio, which is built up by 5 folders: Assessments, Student Sample, Student Support, Teacher Support, Unit Plan. On top of that, Unit Plan is significantly demonstrated by Unit Overview, Unit Foundation, Assessment Plan, Unit Details. Now, let's get to know more details of the Unit Plan. The first part of the unit plan is Overview. The unit title is Composition. In the unit summary, students are instructed to do some research or due to their own experience to discover have you ever been under compulsion, to find out what makes them under compulsion, how to get rid of that feeling and learn some lessons from it. This unit consists of following sessions: listening, reading, writing, grammar, and vocabulary. Students get to improve through these sessions. As in listening, students approach the task by listening to the recordings and take notes. Fill in the blanks, answer the questions, which they can actively bear in mind the needed information and keep track of what the speaker is saying. Students can note down their key points when doing comprehensive reading tasks, and they will get to know more vocabulary. In writing, students have to do some research to find out one short clip about this topic and write on it. These sessions are combined into a whole unit and dissemination to specific learners. Students will also have a presentation in group during class time. The unit overview includes subject area. They are English language and social studies. Grade level, grade 10. And the time needed is approximately 3 weeks, including 6 45-minute class periods, 2 periods per week. Now let's move on to the unit foundation. We have here some technical content standards and benchmarks. They are communication, English language, and social studies. In communication, students have a chance to communicate ideas using oral, visual, writing, and multimedia forms in ways appropriate to the unit, context, and purpose. In the English language, students can apply knowledge by language on understanding how language functions in different contexts to make effective choice of meaning or style. Students can determine or clarify the meaning of unknown or multiple meaning words or phrases. They also acquire some academic words and phrases for reading, writing, and listening, as well as performing their presentation at the school and their career readiness level. In the social studies, students can conduct short research projects as well as more sustained research projects to answer the question or to solve a problem. They also develop a topic while well-known, chosen, relevant, and sufficient facts. Students will be able to practice skills and perform well in the exam or evaluate the aim of each session shown in the unit. They can also collect useful words, useful phrases, word formation. Those are mainly related to the topic. And here is the curriculum framing questions, including essential question, unit questions, and content questions. Now, let's move the next part in the assessment plan that includes the assessment timeline and assessment summary. This is the assessment timeline. There are 3 periods of the process. Before project work begins, students work on the projects and complete tasks. After project work is completed. This is the assessment summary. Teacher use brainstorming, determining period, knowledge presentation, discussion, and then get peer feedback to gauge student needs before project work begins, and provide instruction of upcoming sessions as necessary. Students use a presentation checklist and presentation rubric to help guide their learning, stay on track, and self-assess their progress. Also, students take notes on their understanding of the concept. Questioning is used throughout the unit to help students develop their higher order thinking style and process content. Ask students to use the presentation rubric and peer feedback form to help themselves and peer assess work prior or to completion. Use the same presentation rubric to assess the grade and final sessions. And the last part of our unit plan is the unit details. The teacher plan will cover 3 weeks with 2 periods per week. In the first period, teacher will compile some warm-up activities, showing clip, letting students discuss about some questions. This helps students to brainstorm ideas and lead to the topic of the lesson. Conclusion. Then, in the following periods, students will be allowed to improve their skills such as reading, listening, writing, presentation skills, computer skills, internet searching skills, by doing tasks assigned by teacher. In the end of the lesson, students will hand in a journal after watching a short video about effects of social networking, Facebook, to reflect their thinking about this hot topic nowadays. This also helps students have a look and create well on the world changing outside, not their old rooms with pressure of study and more. This is the accommodation for differentiated instruction. Resources student, the native English speaker, gifted student. And after getting helpful information about unit plans, we will back to the unit portfolio. The first is assessment. Here are some assessment plans that evaluate students' process. Anecdotal record form, listening skill checklist, newsletter checklist, peer feedback, presentation rubric, wiki checklist, and writing rubric. Nextly, in the student sample. This is a sample. We have a journal and presentation, which are assigned in the writing skills and the presentation of grammar. Then we have a student support. Student support program provides students with paragraph planning guidelines and presentation preparation. This has a PDF file of the workbook for references. And lastly, in the teacher support. Teacher have an audio file for the listening session and a list of tenses and verbs of the habitual actions and the course book. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.